This Q&A, I am going to be taking questions about how to become a salon owner, adding retail options for our guests, and charging what you're worth.
You supply the Q's and we bring the A's. It's the Form and Function Q&A show.
Hey guys, welcome back to Form and Function Q&A. I really appreciate you dropping in again, or if this is your first time checking it out, welcome to the show. Feeling really good, right? New Year's chugging along. Weather has not been super awesome. If you haven't had a chance yet, we did have to rearrange some of the class dates for our upcoming Academy classes. So we'll put the link to that in the comments below or in the description. But let's get into the questions. Zachary said, I always find myself charging my clients less for their service than I originally quoted. I later feel guilty because I know I should have charged more for the time that I spent. How should I get over this? Zachary, this is a great question because I think it's a very common challenge that we have in the industry. And I think that one of the overarching challenges is because of the fact that all of us are stylists and we all have our sort of insider deals, we don't necessarily understand the value that we bring to our guests all the time, right? We get into our own head a little bit thinking, well, I wouldn't be able to budget this much this frequently to come and get my hair done. Or, man, that's an expensive product, you know, because we're used to paying half for wholesale for our products. So I think that sometimes we just need to get out of our own head. And if you have people that are coming in at that quoted price that you gave them, stick to it, right? Like they've already decided that 50 bucks for a haircut or whatever the quote was, that they have deemed that to be valuable. And so they're good to go with it. So you shouldn't feel bad with that price quote. You know, believe in yourself, believe in your talents, and just stick to your guns when it comes to your menu. Nicholas says, we recently have thought about bringing in another line, but we don't want to buy into a big buy-in deal that companies want you to. So my question is, stay with one line and keep it boutique style, or bring in another line because we all know clients like new? Your thoughts? Nicholas, this is a really good question because I think a lot of people go through this thought process a little bit. I'm reminded of an article that I read online, and I don't know why I read it, but it caught my attention, and it was about this little kiosk that was selling jams and jellies within a mall. And they had about 80 different flavors when they started this study. And what they found was that having all these different flavors grabbed a lot of people's attention, so everybody would come over to the kiosk, check it out, and oh my gosh, wow, look at all these impressive, like, wild, different jelly flavors. But less people bought. And so what they did was they cut down on the amount of flavors because it became too expensive for them to manufacture and produce all these different things. And when they got down to 12 to 20 different flavors, less people stopped, but the people that stopped bought more often, right? So even though they had less options, they actually sold more product. I like that because thinking about that in the salon, and ours specifically, we used to carry many different brands. We had 4 or 5 different brands at any time. And a number of years ago, we decided to just cut down and focus on Paul Mitchell because it had always been our best seller over 20-some year history. So by doing that, instead of knowing a little bit about a lot of stuff, we were able to know a lot about a little stuff. So we were able to become better experts. And our sales have grown by being able to say, this is the one option I have for you, okay? Now, if you are going to add another line, there's nothing wrong with carrying multiple brands. But you need to make sure that it is something that you want to carry because you like that company and they're going to give back to you. You believe in what they believe in, and ultimately that they are going to be people that you want to work with for quite some time. Because just bringing in something new to prop up new sales, eventually that new line won't be new either, right? And then it's going to be something that's on the shelf, and you want it to be something that you believe in. All right, so if you're going to add something, choose somebody that you're going to want to work with in the long term, and don't go after it just for short-term profits. Tabby asks, I really want to open my own salon. Can I get some advice on how to get started? Tabby, this is a great question because I'm sure that a lot of people find themselves in the same position where they want to open their own business. And I think that it's important to know that there is a lot that goes into becoming a salon owner, right? And you really need to be motivated first out of passion before profits. Because if you look at the industry right now, not many salons are profitable. And if they are, it's not because of the huge profitability of a salon. A lot of times it's because the salon owner is behind the chair, in my opinion, too much, right? If you were to back out the salon owner's revenue from being a stylist, the business wouldn't be able to stay alive, right? So my first point is, why do you want to do it, right? You really got to think about that. And the answer can't be, well, I don't like where I work now. Right? We need a much more inspired and excited answer than that. Second one, I would say, is funding. Right? You really make sure that you have the funds to do it. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to really thrive. Because I'm telling you, there are going to be days where, you know, it's the rainy day and business isn't quite as big, but you still got the bills to pay. So you got to make sure that you have the funding. Right now, we are going through this as we open our second location here. And if we never had a client walk in the doors here, we would still be able to have it because our other location is doing well enough that it could support this one. All right, so you got to make sure that you have the financial backing in order to survive. And then, so we got our passion, we got our funding, and then lastly, I would say is be ready to not do hair. And what I mean by that is, as the owner, and I wish more owners would do this, your job is not just your chair. Your job is everybody's chair. Okay, so you are going to be much more into the management and the marketing, the accounting, the numbers that go into it, and the motivation and the training for everybody on your staff. Right? We're starting a new series very shortly called Millennial Motivation, and it's all about how to build a team of people that are going to be excited to come to work, especially in this younger generation, because that's where your leadership as the owner is really going to come in. So if you got those three things down, that's a good start. But I would focus on those three at least to begin. So thanks, guys. I hope that you liked this new episode. Like I mentioned there, Form and Function Millennial Motivation is a new series coming out soon. So I hope that you guys check that out. As always, you can hit me up on Twitter @BenjaminJ or Instagram @BNJMNJY. And give me your questions. I'm looking forward to them for our next episode. So see you guys soon.